Shalom Aleichem, this is Rabbi Kovacs, and the Mishnah Yomi Shir is beginning Megillah today. Today is the 28th day of Elul, meaning it's Erev Rosh Hashanah. We are picking up in chapter 1, Mishnah Aleph, Megillah Nikreit Bechadasar. The Megillah may be read on the 11th day of the month of Adar, of course, B'Shnemasar, the 12th, B'Shoshasar, the 13th, B'Arba'asar, the 14th, B'Chamishasar, or on the 15th of Adar, Lo Pachot V'Lo Yoter. You can't read the Megillah before the 11th, you can't read it after the 15th. The Mishnah explains, Krochin, big cities, Hamukofin Choma, that were enclosed by a wall, Mimut Yeshua bin Nun, and that wall was not a recent invention, it was there in the days of Joshua, the Joshua who fought at Jericho. And that's about 3,500 years ago. Korin B'Chamisha Asar. So those walled cities, they read the Megillah on the 15th of Adar. One of the reasons cited in the Yerushalmi, the Jerusalem Talmud, to have this dated from Yehoshua is to give kavod, to give honor to Eretz Yisrael, to Israel, which was originally conquered by Yehoshua, which is necessary because most of the events of Megillah, of Purim, took place outside of Israel, in Shushan. Famously, we don't say Hallel on Purim. Some say the reading of the Megillah takes the place of Hallel, that Hallel is only for miracles that happen to the Jewish people in Eretz Yisrael. There are other reasons for using Joshua as the historical cutoff for walled cities. There's the word prizi, meaning open cities, is used in the Pesukim, talking about Joshua going to Israel. That's also used in the Megillah, talking about the unwalled cities. As the Mishnah continues, Kefarim ve'arayot, villages and cities, gedolot, even big cities. Korin be'arbasar, they read on the 14th of Adar. Elishe Kefarim makdimin yom knisa. But the small villages, they can move it up, they can go early to the day of assembly. And the Gemara explains this Yom Knisa, this day of assembly, is basically market day, which is also court day. So on Mondays and Thursdays, the court was in session and the market was open. So people from small villages, small towns would go into the larger cities to go take their business to court or take their wares to market. Now, not every small town or village or shtetl has a Megillah or someone qualified to read the Megillah. So it's a convenience for them to be able to go into the big city early on market day when they're going anyway and hear the Megillah read in a more central location. Now, Mishnah Bet explains sort of how this works practically. Ketzad, how does this work? Haliyot Yom Arba'asar B'Sheni. If the 14th day of Adar falls on a Monday, Kifarim ve'arot gedolot korin bo bayom. So in villages and large towns without the wall from Yeshua, they read the Megillah that day. Kufat Homa, those who were walled, those walled from the time of Yeshua, lemachar, they read it on Tuesday, the 15th of Adar. Halio b'shlishi, revi, if the 14th is on Tuesday or Wednesday, Kifarim makdimim l'yom knisa. So the people in the small villages, they would move it up to the day of assembly, the previous Monday, which is either the 13th or even the 12th. V'yard gedolot korin bo bayom. The big cities, they would read it that day on the 14th. Mekavot choma lemachar. And the walled cities would read it the following day on the 15th, the Wednesday or the Thursday following. Haliyot b'chamishi, if the 14th of Adar is a Thursday. K'fayim ve'erot gedolot korin bo bayom. So both villages and towns read it on that day. It's a market day, court's in session, everyone's there. Mekafat choma lemachar. Walled cities read it on the following day, the 15th. Haliyot erev Shabbat. K'farim makdim in the Yom Knisa. So the villages would read it the day before, on Thursday, the 13th. Ayarot gedolot mekafat choma korin bo bayom. The big cities would read it that day, the 14th, the Friday. So here, both the big cities and the cities that are mukafot choma, that have a wall from the time of Joshua, they would read it on the Friday. They would move it up. Now, the idea is one we've seen by Lulav on Sukkot and by Shofar and Rosh Hashanah, that we have a rabbinical restriction from carrying around items, even mitzvah-related items, on Shabbos. Someone might carry it without an eruv, carry it out of the rishus. It's a problem. It's a potential problem. So too, there's a rabbinical decree. We don't read the Megillah on Saturday, on Shabbat, so people don't carry around their Megillah in an illegal manner on Shabbos. Now, even though they're reading the Megillah on Friday, the walled cities do read the special Torah portions that are relevant to Purim on Shabbos. And there's actually a dispute if they should have their Purim feast, the Seudah, on Thursday or move it the next day to Sunday. The Mishnah continues, Chaliot b'Shabbat, if the 14th itself is on Shabbat, K'farim v'arid gedolot, makdimin v'korin l'yom ha'knisa. Those in villages and unwalled towns, they can advance the reading to the Yom Knisa, the market day, the court day, which was the previous Thursday, on the 12th. Mukafot Choma, the walled cities, Lamachar. They're going to read it the next day on Sunday, which is the 15th. Chaliot Achar Shabbat, if the 14th of Adar, Purim, is the day after Shabbat, a Sunday, Kefari Makdimin, the Yom Knisa. So the small villages can move it up to the previous Thursday. Here that's the 11th, the earliest possible day. The Ayarot Gedolot and large unwalled cities, Korin Bo Bayom, they're going to read it on Sunday, Mukafot Choma Lamachar, and the walled cities on the 15th on Monday. Yashar Koach, and welcome to Megillah.